Déjà vu, a French expression meaning already seen. But was it already seen? Sadly, no. And it did not happen before. When déjà vu happens, you're merely getting a second memory of the same memory, a second copy of the same memory of that current situation. Actually, déjà vu is a biological response to something happening in the brain. It is one of the most unique signals our brain ever sends us. Déjà vu is nothing more than a symptom that something's gone wrong in the biological process of memory storage, which sort of operates 24/7 every single moment of our lives. Like the beating of our hearts, memory storage is a tireless, thankless job. We even remember our dreams. And like the beating of our hearts, every now and then there's a biological problem with a given system of the body. Déjà vu is our only sign there's been a temporary problem in memory storage. For people who are hypocalcemic, for example, it can be difficult to detect. So your doctor will warn you first, but he'll slap your face hard enough to stimulate the facial nerve. And what he's looking for is a very unique twitch in the face, nose, and lips area. The test is called Bostic sign, and it's a legitimate clinical procedure and the only definitive diagnosis for hypocalcemia. How many know a friend they want to test for hypocalcemia? Déjà vu is the Bostic sign of memory storage. Like hiccups are the Bostic sign that something's irritating the diaphragm. So what kind of problem causes déjà vu to make this second memory? Well, humans share a common ancestry with dolphins that dates back 95 million years. And dolphins breathe the same air we do. So they sleep one hemisphere of the brain at a time so they can always come up for air. Otherwise, they would drown. In a 2011 University of Wisconsin study, they demonstrated that the human brain has this ability to shut down sectors, not entire hemispheres, but sectors of the brain. And so this accounts for all those times when you're looking for your keys and they're jingling in your hands. When sectors go down, it affects recall. I figured if it affects recall, it affects storage. Turns out, our brains handle memory in the same way that computers handle it. So many of us know what it's like when you're working late on a Friday night and the IT guy decides, 8:30 on a Friday, good time to take down the L drive. You try to save to the L drive and bad things happen. At best, it bounces back with an error, or at worst, it's you lose all of your work. When sectors go down, it affects memory storage. But wait, if there's sort of a bounce back problem, why do we remember it all? Why doesn't the entire memory disappear? Well, like computers, you're always working with two copies. When you open a file and make changes, it asks you, should I save? Meaning you could always say no and revert back to the original unharmed. Why? Because it's always holding two. See, déjà vu does not create two memories. There are always two memories. In 1963, Robert Ephraim detected this second copy passing from one hemisphere of the brain to the other with a millisecond's delay. The very first evidence of a second copy of the same memory. So anyone who's worked with piecing complex digital files together, you know to make two copies for when things go wrong. So does our brain. In a 2009 issue of Discover magazine, neuroscientists discovered that it takes our brains up to a few hours for new memory to solidify and become permanent. That's how delicate memory storage can be. So, when there's a hiccup with memory storage, you get this ghosted fragment that can no longer serve its purposes of being basically a temp file, and it bounces back as a fragment of itself. That's why when you have déjà vu, you always say, I've been here before. Not when I was in college, not last Christmas. There's never the usual timestamp, nor is there the continuity of memory that knows where you were coming from or where you went next. There's just this big giant before. There are also levels of déjà vu that I've discovered, ranging from very faint familiarity all the way up to what I call full déjà vu, where, and everything we're talking about here today deals with full déjà vu. Instances where I was sitting here, you were there, in this restaurant, having this conversation. Instances where most everything is the same. So, to sum up, déjà vu is not something that happened before. It's a biological hiccup that happens when the brain takes sectors offline and the temp file that memory creates as a precaution is impeded from performing its function and it bounces back as a ghosted fragment of itself. When you say you're having deja vu, what you're really saying is, I have another memory of this. That's all it is. Today, I'm seeking research partners in launching a new initiative that includes a website and an app called solvedejavu.com, where people can report their instances of deja vu in real time. The findings could inform our research on Alzheimer's, schizophrenia, and might even unlock more of those carefully packaged, labeled, and stored memories we've lost access to. It's a chance to create the world's first data set of the circumstances surrounding deja vu, sort of like the book Good to Great was written, by studying the data and letting the data lead us to the great discovery. Thank you.